Many of you may look at Chain Soldier and think, wow, that's trash. Just pages and pages full of empty fan service and weird wish fulfillment. And even though those points could be argued, between all that fan service is a world that really engaged me and kept me reading for more than just the next spicy 2-page spread. Mato Seihei no Slave, aka Chain Soldier, thought it would be a good idea to get rid of the slave part for the Western release. With the anime in production, it was probably a good call. Chain Soldier takes place on the beautiful little island of Japan, of course. But in this Japan, gates to another dimension begin to open. This dimension is called Mato. When these gates to Mato open, Shuki, the monsters that inhabit this world, begin to crawl into ours, obviously endangering the people of Japan if they were able to roam freely. There's something else in Mato besides the Shuki though, a resource called Peach. When it's consumed, it gives the person who consumed it supernatural powers. The catch is it only works on women. Peaches do not give special abilities to men, and so the former differences between men and women crumbled. To place the gates to Mato under government surveillance, a new organization was created, the Anti-Demon Corps, a unit specialized in battle. It is composed entirely and exclusively of women who receive power from the Peaches. One day, Yuki Wakura, a soon-to-be high school graduate who has hopes of a bigger purpose in life outside the general 9-to-5 culture, stumbles into one of these Mato gates by mistake. These gates appear and disappear sometimes, so it's not as simple as you may think to return to Japan. Of course, the Shuki show up and Yuki is in danger. He becomes cornered by these demons, but suddenly, a human appears. This is too much. I was tired of those boring days, sure. But not like this. I don't want to end like this. Huh? A human? To be already under attack, Lady Luck isn't on your side. Hide behind my back. It's time to submit. This one's too weak. You're the victim of the Mato disaster, correct? I am the chief of the 7th unit of the Anti-Demon Corps, Kayuka Uzun. Rest assured, you're in safe hands. Like the lady said, this is Kayuka Uzun, commander of the 7th Squad of the Anti-Demon Corps. The Anti-Demon Corps is a military group of powerful women who have incredible powers granted to them from the Peach. They defend Japan from Suki and save humans like Yuki, who happen to stumble into Mato by mistake. Lucky for Yuki, one of them showed up to save him, and Commander Uzun no less. Her power is to make Suki submit. Her ability is literally called Enslave, and she could make the Suki submit to her and use them in combat to her benefit. Using the Suki to fight other Suki isn't a strategy that always pays off though. Maybe the Suki you enslave is weaker than the one you're fighting, or you get overwhelmed by a stampede of them, which is exactly what happens to Kayuka and Yuki. She creates a barrier around them, but it won't protect them forever. In a moment of desperation, she tells Yuki she will have to use her power on him. Not sure it'll even work, she reaches out her hand to Yuki and tells him it's time to submit. Yuki, for some reason, instinctively licks her extended finger. At first, very weird, but honestly, the more I think about it, very realistic reaction if you ask me. The power causes Yuki to transform into a powerful monster. Kayuka mounts Yuki, and they make quick work of the remaining Suki. You surprised me. I did not expect you to have that much power. You can keep working as my slave. What the hell just happened? But for that, there's something I must tell you about my ability. Huh? And that's where the fan service comes in. This is the cost of Commander Kayuka Uzun's power. She must grant an appropriate reward for those she enslaves, depending on the effort required or the challenge of the task. Now, I'll go ahead and say, obviously you won't like this manga if you don't enjoy fan service. But if you do enjoy fan service and are a little tired of how ridiculous it's got in anime, I'd say it's done better in Chain Soldier. A lot of people say the most important / the best part of sex is foreplay. The build-up. We're all anime fans here, so how the heck would we know? But it's true. I feel like good fan service does something similar. In Chain Soldier, there's a great build-up that begins when a battle takes place. There's a sort of rhythm that goes on where a battle begins, and so does the anticipation of what the reward will be given by the end of it. And not to say the only reason you're reading is to get to that end goal, because it's not. The battles in Chain Soldier are epic, dynamic, and beautifully illustrated. And the same could be said about those spicy pages. But to stay focused on those battles for a moment, let me share with you one of my favorites. The 7th Squad, including Yuki who has joined them at this point, is facing off against multiple Shuki, when a very powerful demon makes their entrance. A mysterious demon woman who is riding a Suki known as Unihorn. Very fitting, straight to the point, can't complain. This Unihorn is responsible for Kyoka's tragic origins. Mandatory tragic origins if you're going to be a lead character in a manga. There was an incident years ago when some Suki made their way into Japan and attacked Kyoka's village. They wreaked havoc, but one Shuki in particular caused the most carnage. Kyoka was still a very young child at the time, so she could only helplessly watch as her friends and family were killed. The Anti-Demon Corps at the time eventually came and destroyed the Shuki, but Unihorn managed to escape. Commander Kyoka Uzan in present day has a few goals, two of which are to eliminate the Shuki and annihilate Unihorn. Think early Eren Yeager from AOT. He hated all Titans, but especially the one that killed his mother. So this battle, as you can imagine, becomes pretty intense. The action shots give off a lot of impact, and the movement is clear. There's nothing more annoying than looking at a fight and not knowing what the heck is going on. The demon lady decides to retreat after noting something about Yuki. It's not important what at the moment, but what is important is that Kyoka loses her cool. She screams out to Yuki to come with her and chase them down, but he doesn't respond. She turns around to see that Yuki has instead decided to help the other members of the 7th Squad who are being overwhelmed by the remaining Suki. Kyoka seeing Suki help the others helps her realize that losing her temperament could have cost her the lives of her comrades, giving us this panel. Like, this isn't a weak punch, this is concussion level force. Yuki really helps Kyoka realize that she can't allow herself to be lost in rage. And as a reward, she steps on him! I did honestly go into this manga expecting very surface level stuff just to guide the readers to the next pair of booba, but I found an engaging world full of dynamic action and interesting characters that made me stick around and eager for more than just the next pair of booba.